Eagles a lot of experience. 3 seniors in the starting lineup. Largy's been a starter for 2+ seasons. Zach Anderson has filled in Jay Webb, and he seems to be the 5th starter, which has been a rotating spot. Looks like Zach's going to be the power forward going forward.
Well, the last game, second half, when they went on an 18-2 run, he hit 3 threes to start that second half and got them going.
You see Tavian Dunn-Martin, who leads FGCU in both scoring at 20 a game and assists at 6 a game. 86% from the line. As he goes, oftentimes so go the Eagles. FGCU in their home white, the Lions in their road purple with black trim, and we are underway. Kevin Samuel winning the tap easily. North Alabama man-to-man defensively. FGCU looks to high-low it to the big fella who lays it up and in.
Well, I know we're only a few seconds into the game, but they're already starting to sugar the bigs, buddy.
You know, it's a rough game for you when they sugar the bigs before you can say sugar the bigs.
Sugar the bigs, right. Because he has been a force the last 3 basketball games.
C.J. Brim missed an open 18-footer.
Which he won't do very often.
Zach Anderson, who started that comeback from 16 down in the second half against Lipscomb by hitting 3 threes. Dunn-Martin kind of capped it off by hitting 3 threes. Tavian with the crossover, the dish, and a foul, and that's a good one at that. Brim at 5'9", fouling the 6'11" Samuel before he could dunk it.
Well, if they can get it inside to him, work on creating fouls, he's going to get fouled or they're going to have dunks, and they'll be shooting the bonus before the popcorn gets cold.
Samuel, beautiful pass to Cato, and FGCU off to a good start. Picking up where they left off in Nashville. At one point, Jay Webb, on Saturday, the Eagles had a 40-8 run. 40-8. At any level, that's impressive.
Yes.
They're going through Samuel every time down. Kevin switched pivot feet and goes to his right.
Wait a minute. Did the big man go right-hand hook?
He did. And you know, Damian Forrest is like, hold on a second. The scouting report says he goes left every time. And Samuel gets a hand on the pass, but the Lions get it back. Deep 3, no good by Ortiz.
That's his second rebound.
Anderson in transition. Good defense by Chapman.
Oh.
In transition, Ortiz with the pull-up. First points for the Lions.
Ortiz says, let's just slow this down a little bit. I mean, right now he's on track to be freshman of the year in this conference.
And it's a very solid, deep conference this year. Largy drives baseline and is fouled.
When you look at the conference on the men's side, David, go ahead.
Tony Poolhole, this is 4th year with North Alabama. Took them to the ASUN championship game last year. The Lions come in 9-14 on the season, 2-8 in conference play. Jay Webb, they played Rick Pitino's Iona team on a neutral floor. They played at Auburn, who's #1 in the country. They played at Gonzaga when they were #1 in the country. He has thrown his young Lions
into the Lions' den.
Yes, he has. Largy 1 of 2 from the line. Nice bounce pass.
Oh.
Samuel influenced the shot, however, by Forrest.
He tipped that. Whoa.
Dunn-Martin got away with a travel there, puts up a 30-footer.
You may want to try a 27-footer.
And a late foul called.
We'll see. If you stumble over your own feet, that shouldn't be a foul.
Cato called for the foul. There's Michael Fly. In his 4th year, 15 wins this season, the most in any of his first 4 years, coming off that big road sweep in Central Arkansas and Lipscomb. And in talking to the team, it's as tough a road trip. Samuel with the block, and then he influenced the second shot. Cisse went right at Kevin Samuel and did not fare well.
Well, not many people do.
But with the travel, a snowstorm, leaving on Wednesday, getting back on Sunday, as difficult a road trip is my understanding of any that FGCU has had since entering the A-Sun, and they came home 2-0 from it. Off balance leaner by C.J. Brim.
Well, C.J. Brim is the scorer, okay?
Good flow, good pacing to this one in the first 4 minutes. Caddo gets it back to Zach Anderson for 3. FGCU do not pick up the guard in penetration, and Samuel gets called for his first. Jamari Blackman took it right at Kevin Samuel, second team foul, and that'll take us to immediate timeout. FGCU off to a good start, leading by 5.
What's the FGCU effect? Almost 5,000 jobs created, $245 million in research funding, $600 million in regional impact each year. One powerful economic engine. That's the FGCU effect.
What's the FGCU effect? 92 degree programs, 15,000 students, 33,000 proud alumni, and 1 Southwest Florida State University. That's the FGCU effect.
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
FGCU with a 5-point lead at the first media timeout. David Moulton with Jay Webb Horton. Jay Webb, what's your keys tonight?
Well, if you're UNA, you want to limit turnovers. You want to limit the good shots that FGCU gets. Then you want to play solid defense. FGCU, limit turnovers, ball movement and pace. They want to get up and down the floor, and then they want to play defense for 40 minutes.
The Eagles have been a better offensive team than defensive team so far in this season. They're an exciting team.
Yes.
They can play with anyone. As evidenced by their Saturday game against Lipscomb, to be down 14 at the half, 16 early second half, and then with 7 minutes to go in the half, be up 16.
Yes. It's like an 18-2 run there.
They've had dramatic runs to force overtimes late and win games. They've had a couple of hairy finishes, and they let one get away at Duquesne.
Yes.
They're a good season ticket team, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
You're going to get your money's worth. 1 of 2 from the line for the 92% free throw shooter, Blackman.
Jamari Blackman hit a big shot a couple of years ago that led UNA over FGCU.
Yes, he did. The Eagles had a late lead. Backdoor cut. Cyrus Largy with his first bucket. He's got 3.
Well, Largy's played really well the last 2 ball games. He's been in sort of a funk.
FGCU's made 5 of their first 8 shots. Good defense by Cato, forcing the tough fadeaway by Ortiz. Nice slip to Samuel.
Oh, oh,
They still go by that Dunk City moniker, you know.
oh.
Step back three. Blackman missed it. Eagles quickly up 8 and in transition.
You see, that's a shot you don't need.
Well, Dunmartin tapped his chest and said, "That my bad. That's on me."
No.
First turnover of the night for the Eagles.
Excitement is for the fans.
And Kevin Samuel getting congratulations for the first 5:09 of this game. He's got 6 points, 3 rebounds, influenced many a shot. Will Susi in the game for the first time. They play catch in the corner. Blackman with it. Down on the block with the big fella out of the game. Susi drives baseline only to have Rosario rejected. Dunmartin in transition, 1-on-2. Looks for some help.
Well, Susi's one of those New Jersey guys out of Califon, New Jersey, David.
Califon, my dad lived there for a while. That's in farm country, northwest part of the state. Good fishing there, too.
Good fishing?
Yeah. Five seconds to shoot.
Steps.
Carlos Rosario, a transfer from McNeese State, in the game for Kevin Samuel.
He has been playing some solid minutes and has really been a force.
Well, it took about 2/3 of the season, but I think all the roles, a lot of new players.
Right.
Coach Fly let everybody kind of play their way in and out of playing time. And now the starting 5 is firmly established. Rosario's the first center. Halverson's the first shooting guard to come off the bench. Franco Miller broke his ankle at practice yesterday.
The last drill of the day.
And he will miss the rest of the year. The 6'3" junior out of Ole Miss, who was really starting to play well. He had played his way into first guard off the bench role. Dunmartin forced one up because he knew he could get the foul on Brim. And that's the second foul on CJ Brim.
Well, that's not good for UNA.
Just 6.5 minutes into this one.
Because if he's guarding TDM, that's hard to guard him without fouling.
And Dunmartin. So we've seen a 92% free throw shooter and Blackman miss one, and now we've seen an 86% free throw shooter and Dunmartin miss one. Watch Samuel go up there and go 2 for 2 from the line his first time. And remember, Dunmartin was fouled shooting a 3.
See, I've never understood. Don't foul a jump shooter. Harass him.
2 of 3 from the line for Tavian. His first points of the night. FGCU's biggest lead of the night, 15-5. Ortiz kicks it back out to Susi. Driving in the lane, and Rosario with the weak side help again. His second block in 2 minutes. Cato for 3.
Whoa.
Ill-advised shot.
Airmailed that.
In transition, 3-on-2.
Whoa.
Another block, but a foul. And it's on Cato, and that's his second. 3rd team foul. So Cato's got 2 and Brim has 2 for FGCU and North Alabama respectively. The freshman, Susi, a 74% free throw shooter. Coach Pujol going to his bench early and often in this one.
Funny talking to Pujols because he talks about that triangle over there in Miami. Anthony Bryant was over there. Thank you, my mic here, little helter-skelter. South Carolina men's coach.
Frank Martin.
Frank Martin. And Pujols, all coaching high school basketball.
Halverson in the game with Dunmartin. Austin Ritchie touches it for the first time. Halverson has struggled with his shot in the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
First couple shots from Matt will be really big tonight. 2 seconds, Dunmartin. Oh, that is demoralizing defensively.
Oh, it is. It really is.
Biggest lead of the game so far for the Eagles at 18-7. And then a moving screen from Ortiz. And the freshman picks up the foul. North Alabama has been in a lot of situations in this season. You don't figure they're going to be intimidated here at Alico Arena,
No.
but FGCU does have them in an early hole.
Once again, stagnant. There's no ball movement at all. A lot of dribbling.
Give and go to Rosario. Jump hook in the lane. Good defense by Dallas Howell.
Well, that's a foul on Rosario.
So a timeout on the floor after the foul by Rosario. It'll be the Lions ball when we come back. FGCU enjoying their biggest lead of the night, 18-7.
The land is dying, and the machines are out of control. Whatever comes, I will be ready.
PlayStation.
It's a touchdown, football fans! Come into Arby's now and touch this brisket, bacon, and beef dip down into a cup of au jus. Arby's, we have the meat.
4 Super Bowls, 6 AFC championships. You?
Award-winning customer service, up to 30% off your auto insurance with Safe Pilot, made for the military community.
And who else?
That's all. USAA, only for the military community.
Getting the incredible iPhone 13 without T-Mobile makes as much sense as playing hide and seek.
Ready or not, here I come!
In the desert.
Really, guys?
T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. And now, when you switch, you can get iPhone 13 on us, on every plan.
You're not gonna fit in that hole.
Don't look any further. Unlock the full power of iPhone 13 on us at T-Mobile, the network with more 5G bars in more places.
Little over 8 minutes gone by first half. The home team off to a good start, leading 18-7, looking for their 3rd win in a row. Jay Webb, what have you seen from the Eagles so far that you like?
They're shooting 7 for 12 from the field, 1 for 4 from the 3. But I love the defensive intensity that the Eagles have brought out here in the first 8-9 minutes.
North Alabama shooting just 2 of 12 from the field so far.
Well, when you got C.J. Brim, you got Daniel Ortiz, and Pape Cisse, they're going to start making shots because they're shooting.
I will say they have struggled offensively this year. They shoot just 39% from the field. You don't often see that.
No.
A team, male or female, at the Division I level where
Yes.
the first digit's a 3.
Yes.
I have to attribute that to a lot of youth, don't you?
Yes. No, very much so, because they're building from the ground up.
Ortiz over Rosario.
Well, see, that's money. When he gets in that range, that 7-foot range, you can put it in the bank.
Well, what's impressive is he's 6 feet and Rosario's 6'8".
Yeah.
Not intimidated, took it right at him, shot it over him. Largy draws the foul. It's on Susi. That's his first 15 foul. And Largy, a 69% free throw shooter, has now missed 2 of 3. Rosario, who gave 3.5 good minutes. And now Largy takes a seat. It's Dunmartin, Halverson, Ritchie, Samuel, Zach Anderson on the floor right now for FGCU. In the lane, over Samuel. Nice play for D'Italian Brown. The freshman's first points off the bench. So back-to-back buckets for North Alabama. Halverson from deep. He rushed it with a hand in his face. And I mentioned he's been struggling with his shot the last couple weeks. And let's face it, he was brought in for his three-point shooting. Susi gets the shooter's roll.
Oh, boy.
And Zach Anderson goes down, grabbing his left ankle. 3 consecutive buckets for the Lions to make it a 6-point game. And if you're just joining us, Franco Miller, who was the first guard off the bench lately for FGCU, he broke his ankle at the very end of practice yesterday. He's out for the rest of the year. And now Zach Anderson, who had just cemented his place in the starting lineup, had a big game at Lipscomb. And this is not a good sign.
No.
Well,
next man up.
Not only will we see a lot of Carlos Rosario, we could see some Dakota Rivers, who has not played much in the last 2 months. Lost his spot in the starting lineup and has had a hard time seeing the floor since. Midway through the first half. Ritchie wide open, called for it, buries it.
He does not lack for confidence.
Second 3 of the game for the Eagles. Halverson hounding from behind. Fade away by Ortiz, no. Samuel with the rebound. He comes in nursing a heel injury. But he's been very effective in the early going. Ritchie tried to make it 2 for 2, but was too strong. 2-on-1 the other way. Howell missed. Ortiz the conversion.
An old-fashioned fast break where someone actually tried to make a layup, David.
You mean they didn't fan out and shoot a 3?
They didn't fan out and shoot a 3.
9 minutes to go. FGCU is led throughout. And Samuel called for a double dribble.
Well, see, I get worried when the big man starts trying to dribble.
Well, North Alabama did a good job in getting him just off of the block.
Right.
Unofficially, just the 3rd turnover for the Eagles. Got away with a push off, then passed it over to D'Italian Brown for three. And he is not a three-point shooter.
No.
Less than 20% on the year, but he hit a big one there. And the Lions, who were down double figures a few moments ago. Dunmartin tries to answer. Listen, he's not the player that I'm going to mention, but his style of play and his size, when you see him, you think a little Trae Young, don't you?
Yes.
Ortiz is heating up. He's got 8.
Trae Young, very good analogy.
Well, you know, he'll shoot it from 35 like Trae will. Trae and Dunmartin both, you see them, and, you know, that old coaching axiom, no, nice shot, get back.
Yes.
You know, he does a couple of those a game. He's exciting, the transfer from Duquesne. And now Halverson called for the foul. His first 15 foul. That takes us to another media timeout. The Lions keep chipping away. They've outscored the Eagles 13-7 in the last 6 minutes. We've got a 5-point game when we come back.
Began with Pinter's Crab Shack 18 years ago. Started buying from a little company on Pine Island, driving every day to get fresh product called Island Crab. Island Crab is now part of Pinter's Crab Shack. We have 3 boats that are blue crab, and we have 2 boats that are stone crab. I grew up with cowboys. Now, cowboys are independent. Well, guess what? A fisherman has his boat. He's independent too. From the boat to the table, you can't fake fresh.
It started with land and a grand plan to build a university, protect biodiversity, shape engineers and pioneers, explore frontiers and spark careers, and serve local regions through the work of collegians to chase dreams, cheer teams, teach, share, improve, and prepare to bring minds awake and give back more than we take. To build a school of wonders where communities connect, inspiring those who inspire others. That's the FGCU effect.
What's the FGCU effect? 92 degree programs, 15,000 students, 33,000 proud alumni, and 1 Southwest Florida State University. That's the FGCU effect. What's the FGCU effect? 29 fraternities and sororities, more than 250 student organizations, 3 million service learning hours in the community, 1 engaged student body. That's the FGCU effect.
7.5 minutes ago, first half. Eagles got off to a quick early lead, led by double digits. Lions cutting into it, Jay Webb, down just 5.
Well, anytime you're on a Tony Pujols coach team, there's no quit. And you're going to just try to find your rhythm and then just keep battling.
FGCU shooting above 50%. They're +2 on the boards. What's kept the Lions in this game, just 1 turnover in the first 12.5 minutes. Boy, everything was beautiful about that from Jamari Blockman except for the miss. In transition, Dunmartin tried to get it to Largy. Turnover, 3-on-2 the other way. Partially blocked not once but twice, and eventually a foul. Who's it on?
Caleb Cato.
That's going to be the 3rd on Cato.
Well, see, once again, you cannot throw a soft pass in that kind of action. You just can't.
6th team foul on the Eagles. And Cato's going over going, is that on me? And Halverson comes into the game and says, yeah, it is. So Caleb's probably done for the rest of the first half.
Yes.
He scored 4 quick points, but has now picked up 3 fouls. Brown, a 73% shooter. 1 of 2. 6 points off the bench for Detallion, the freshman. It's the closest the Lions have been in a long time. Samuel nearly traveled. Good defense by North Alabama in the half court. 10 seconds now. Dunmartin looks to go one-on-one. On a big stutter step floater off the glass, underhanded.
What a move.
Dallas Howell shouldn't feel badly. The 6'7" forward. No one was going to stop that. North Alabama player fell to the floor, called timeout. Lions will take a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. That's 10 for Dunmartin so far to lead the Eagles. You know, the injuries are starting to add up, Jay Webb.
Yes.
This team went from really healthy 24 hours ago to Franco Miller breaking his ankle at the end of practice yesterday, out for the year. And if you're just joining us, Zach Anderson rolled his left ankle midway through this first half and had to be helped off the floor. Coach Fly had settled in really on a 9-man rotation, and now 2 members of it are hurt.
Have dissipated away.
And Cato's on the bench with 3 fouls. Eagles go zone off the inbounds. First time they've done that tonight. Dunmartin tries to get it to Samuel. Tavian, quick first step, over to Largy. Cyrus has got 6.
Well, see, that's what you want to see. Penetrate and dish it off. And avoid the charge.
You know, the Eagles had great ball movement and great pace on that series. Samuel tried to one-arm it on the rebound. Eagles corral it anyway. Dunmartin thought about a 30-footer. Last touch, I believe, by Tavian. Yeah. No, they're going to keep it here.
Whoa.
Say last touch by the Lions. That's an old school move there by Austin Ritchie. Fake the 3.
Fake the 3.
Take 2 dribbles inside the line and shoot the mid-range jumper. That gets you benched in a lot of places these days. Dunmartin off the one-man screen for his 3rd 3. 13 for Tavian Dunmartin. We said as he goes, so go the Eagles. Blackman can't answer from downtown. Coach Fly yelling at Dunmartin, slow down, I want to call a play. Tavian like, you know, I'm on a roll. And he drives it and earns a trip to the line.
Well, waiting on the scores table here is Rolone, who could become a big factor with Franco Miller Jr. gone.
You see Luis Rolone, number 1, the 6'2 sophomore who lost his place in the starting lineup with Tavian Dunmartin transferring into the program.
Yes. And has had flashes of being the Rolone of old.
Started the year rehabbing an injury. Struggled to get his conditioning back. Went from playing heavy minutes last year to reserve minutes this year.
And with 2 knee surgeries. Had one last year and then one over the summer.
It's a big adjustment. Dunmartin sits after making the 2 free throws. He's got 15, and the Eagles lead by 13.
Whoa.
And Rolone, who struggles defensively, commits the foul.
See, once again, young ladies and young men who are watching, defense is played by moving your feet. It is not played by reaching. And if you're reaching, you ain't listening to the preaching.
Did you intend for that to rhyme? Because that was beautiful. It's a 1-and-1 because it was the 17 foul, and Brown missed the front end of it.
Well, let's see how FGCU finishes this half.
Halverson forces up a three, a wild shot. Rolone gets it back to Largy.
Whoa.
Oh, is he rejected by Chapman?
Oh, he took that out of the air, David.
Largy was going to go for the reverse jam, and Isaac Chapman said no.
No. Wow.
Blackman in and out for three. And a foul on Halverson on the rebound. It's the second on Halverson, 8th team foul.
So Pape Sisse, who was a 40% free throw shooter, is now on the line.
Just 4 of 10 from the line on the season. And he, the product of Dakar, Senegal, will shoot the front end of a 1-and-1. So North Alabama not helping themselves, missing the front end of 2 1-and-1s here. Coach Fly yelling, spread it, letting Rolone create. 10 seconds now.
See, one of the things you need is pace and space.
Halverson gets a step, drives. Strong rebound, Chapman. Boy, Matt's trying so hard to. Just can't get that first shot to go. Beautiful drive to the basket, bucket and a foul. Chance for a three-point play for Jamari Blackman. And he will shoot that free throw when we come back. 3:31 to go, Eagles by 11.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel card for you. Introducing Venture X. Earn 10x miles on hotels and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. Find your where next with Venture X. What's in your wallet?
It's your ultimate snowball fighter. It's your frostbite fixer. It's your all-wheel drive enabler, roadless travel, challenge accepted winter warrior. The all-wheel drive capable Hyundai Palisade, Tucson, and Santa Fe. It's your journey. Own it.
Lease an all-wheel drive 2022 Tucson for $199 a month or Santa Fe for $239 a month. Hurry in.
If that particular play doesn't happen, I don't know what happens with my career beyond that.
.331 to go. FGCU has had North Alabama at various degrees of arm's length, but trouble is a brewing for the Eagles between injuries and fouls.
Well, the Eagles are going to have to really be judicious. They're going to have high basketball IQ, and they've got to execute and keep playing solid defense because UNA is not going to go away, and they have shooters that can light this building up.
Franco Miller out with a broken ankle. Zach Anderson out, spraining his ankle midway through the first half. Then you combine Cato on the bench with 3 fouls and the backup backcourt of Halverson and Rolone, each with 2 fouls. They will remain on the floor, however, as Blackman, the 92% free throw shooter, tries to complete the three-point play. Four points for Jamari, 10-point FGCU lead.
Well, FGCU must be efficient on offense and not have dumb turnovers.
Coach Fly trusting his backup guards here, Rolone and Halverson. 10 seconds to shoot. Here comes Omar Figueroa. In the corner.
Figueroa can shoot.
And he was wide open for three, and he buries it. And Coach Fly takes a timeout, not liking that sequence at all. A bad three on one end. Not one, but two shooters were wide open for a three on the other end, with Figueroa burying it.
Rolone has been working on his three, but that's not your bread and butter. Your bread and butter is distribution.
See if Coach Fly.
TDM's back in the lineup here.
Goes back to Tavian Dunmartin in place of Luis Rolone, and he does. So Richie is in the game for Zach Anderson, who's out injured. Halverson is in the game for Cato, who's on the bench with 3 fouls. Down low to Samuel, to the cutting Richie. Good ball movement, great team basketball.
Great ball movement. This is Dunk City.
Coming out of a timeout, the Eagles run a play. And an offensive foul, and I believe that's the third on C.J. Brim.
Halverson has a propensity for picking up charges. He must lead the ASUN in charges picked up.
I think he just ran into Brim, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So Cato and Brim each with 3 fouls. CJ checks back out of the game for North Alabama. Largy on the drive, muscles his way through Daniel Ortiz for 2. He's got 3 inches, about 25 pounds.
That would be called an advantage.
Couple of buckets here for FGCU coming out of the timeout. Figueroa.
Whoa.
And Samuel gets called for goaltending. I don't think that one was going to
go in.
It looked like it was kind of floating short. Will Susi, number 0, checks into the game for North Alabama.
Boy, he was up high on that one, wasn't he?
Well, he starts pretty high at 6'11". I mean, he starts where most of us are at the top of the step ladder.
Thank you for putting me in perspective, David.
I'm just saying he has an advantage starting out. That's all. Backdoor cut to Halverson. And boy, did he need that.
Well, they just returned basket interferences.
First bucket for Matt Halverson.
In a while.
Who was 0 for 3 to start the game. He came in like 2 for his last 16, and he is a shooter. And he's not a scorer, he's a shooter. So sometimes it only takes one, Jay Webb. It's the old broken bat base hit, the technical free throw to get a guy off a schneid. Dunmartin wrestles it away from Susi. He looks over at Coach Fly, who calls out the play. We'll see what it is. Beautiful pass in the lane to Samuel, who's had 4 defenders around him. Now 7 seconds to shoot. Richie passes up the 3, drives, bucket, and the foul. I think we're all waiting to see. That was a block charge. Which way would it go? And it ends up being a block.
What is that famous Moulton saying? Hooping some harm, baby.
Well, I'm with Jay Billis. I think there are way too many charges called in college basketball.
Yes. No, I agree with you.
To me, when in doubt, favor the offense.
Yes.
And the official there, it was close. I think he called it a foul on Brown because he thought he was just a little too deep in taking the contact. Austin Ritchie, three-point play. He's got 8 off the bench. And this is the biggest lead for FGCU at 14. They've responded to that timeout with a very effective run. A 9-2 spurt here in 2 minutes. And Halverson just committed his 3rd foul.
Well, see, once again, he's not moving his feet. If you're running beside your opponent who you're supposed to be defending and you're beside him, that's not guarding him. That's directing him to where he wants to go.
So Cato and Halverson will both start the second half with 3 fouls.
Yes.
10 team fouls on the Eagles.
Well, here comes the fan favorite.
Daniel Ortiz shooting 2, but Dakota Rivers comes into the game with less than 40 seconds to go in the half.
With an opportunity to show how to earn some PT.
Well, with Zach Anderson hurt, and you have to assume he's out the rest of the game. Ortiz hits them both. The freshman's got 10 in the first half. Got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Ten seconds now to shoot. Dunmartin back to Samuel, gives it to Dakota. And a blocking foul called. Dakota will go to the line.
Well, he hasn't been to the free throw line in ages.
Jay Webb, he's gone to the line once all year. And so the 6'8 junior out of Orlando who had missed his only free throw earlier in the season. Coach Pujol making some substitutions to get the best offensive unit on the floor for the final 13.1. So Rivers misses them both. Ortiz in the closing seconds. Takes it at Dunmartin. 2 seconds, fade away. Batavian Dunmartin, the star of the first half, he had 15. There the dish to Largy, 2 of his 8. And Austin Ritchie off the bench, also with 8. Zach Anderson, severely sprained left ankle, doubtful to return. And if you're just joining us, Franco Miller, who was the first guard off the bench in the Eagles rotation lately, broke his ankle at the end of practice yesterday. He's out for the rest of the year. You throw in 3 fouls on Cato, 3 fouls on Halverson. The scoreboard says FGCU's in control. The stat sheet says they're vulnerable.
They're very vulnerable. So they've got to be judicious in how they play defense. Defend without fouling, especially the ones with 3.
Lions to start the second half with the ball. Ortiz a deep 3. Coach Fly yells out, execute, execute. Cato shut down, trying to drive baseline. Eagles got off to a great start offensively, scored the first 3 times they had the ball. And I don't know if they've been below 50% from the field in the whole first half.
Yes. Good observation, my friend. If they can keep that up, they should hopefully. I mean, I'm sure the fans would love to have a game where FGCU didn't take their hearts out and let them cruise home.
Susi the foul. Cato saves Dunmartin from a turnover. 10 seconds to shoot. They get it to the big fella down low. Samuel, left-handed jump hook. He doesn't miss many of those.
Well, see, I still would like him 2 steps closer to the basket there. Where he can just kiss it off the glass.
Susi to Ortiz. Over to Blackman. Back to Susi for 3.
Yeah, Susi's not going to miss that.
Susi is now 10 of 18 on the season shooting the 3.
You cannot leave that man alone.
That's 56%. I mean, limited, numbers, but still pretty impressive. Samuel.
There you go. That's the shot they wanted to make.
He faked the hook to the one side and hit the hook to the other. Eagles played zone on 1 possession in the first half. Otherwise, both teams played man-to-man. 5 seconds now to shoot. Ortiz has dribbled it down. Give and go. Samuel influencing the shot. Tipped up, however, off the glass and in by Forrest. Damian Forrest at 6'10", took it right at the 6'11" Samuel and was able to eventually convert. Lions have cut it to single digits. Dunmartin gets a step on Blackman. However, the bucket won't count. It is the second foul on Jamari Blackman. Second team foul on the Lions. Caddo and Halverson each with 3 fouls for FGCU. Dunmartin.
No way.
Trying to draw another foul like he did in the first half shooting the 3.
You gotta be kidding me.
Doesn't draw the foul, but hits the 3. That's his 4th from downtown. He's got 18 and the Eagles lead by 12. Samuel with the rejection.
Oh.
After Susi drove right by Dunmartin. Caddo for 3 to bring the house down. Beautiful basketball there on both ends of the floor.
You can't guard a man any closer than they were on TDM there.
Drive in the lane, knocked away by Samuel, stolen by Largy. He's got numbers, 4 on 2. Cyrus to Samuel, who eventually lays it up and in. It wasn't pretty.
Hang on. He got hit in the eye. Samuel did.
This season has suddenly become a battle of attrition for the Eagles. Say it again, Franco Miller broke his ankle at the very end of practice yesterday. Zach Anderson rolled his left ankle early in this game, has not played since. Here's Samuel poked in the eye. He'll take a seat. Carlos Rosario will enter the game in his place.
And he's been more than an adequate replacement.
But this very deep team is now being tested. Deep 3 from the far wing, no. Dunmartin to Caddo. Caleb penetrates. Richie, Rosario was cutting the basket. Dunmartin, and he grabbed them, and that's an intentional foul. That's a good call by the trailing official.
He shoots 2, correct?
Tavian tried to get away with that, but he put both arms around him and grabbed them in what would have been a layup. I don't know if Tavian's aware that they called it the intentional. They're going to take a look at the scores table to see if it was anything more than that, and I would be shocked if they came to that conclusion, but it's going to be 2 in the ball for the Lions. Head referee Shane Land will put the headphones on and take a look at the monitor. Shane Land, Mark Pillen, Andrew Cassis, the 3 officials tonight.
Well, on this break, David.
Yes.
Let's talk about the newest addition.
Uh-oh.
Who we put, already we've seen how good we are. We put your granddaughter, Oakland Randalls, to sleep already?
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm very good at putting women to sleep, Jay Webb. My wife's gone to bed before 9 o'clock on me for 25 years.
Well, congratulations on you and your lovely wife becoming grandparents. And your daughter is such a nice young lady that I've got to know and hanging out with you. So congratulations to her and her husband on her first child, and you a grandfather.
Yes. Oakland sounded good to them, they said. And you know me, I don't let anybody off free. When they said we're going to name her Oakland, and I said, well, that's great. Was Schenectady not available?
And I'm sure your daughter appreciated that humor.
She did. She laughed. So every time I saw her for like the next couple months, I would say, hey, how about like Thono Tosasa? Just kept throwing like Florida cities at her. But Oakland it is.
Well, Oakland, welcome to the world of ESPN and your grandfather, who I just have so much respect for and have so much fun with over the last 14 years.
Thank you, Jay Webb. Ortiz, a 79% free throw shooter, missed free throws.
That shows you it's not a good night.
North Alabama's a 77% free throw shooting team. They're 7 for 13 from the line tonight. And they missed the front end of a couple 1-and-1s. They missed 2 technical free throws there. This game could be noticeably closer. Lions keep the ball after the intentional foul. C.J. Brim with 3 fouls, gets it inside. No good. Second attempt at it by Isaac Chapman, no. Rosario the rebound in traffic.
Wow. FGCU dodged one there.
Rosario in the game because Samuel got poked in the eye a moment ago. Dunmartin, quickness, blocked from behind, out of bounds. And that'll take us now to immediate timeout. So the Eagles' 12-point halftime lead is up to 17, and it'll be FGCU ball when we come back. The Eagles up 53-36.
Hey, Eagle fans. I'm Jay Westerland, and this is Ryan Beatty. We're with Premier Sotheby's International Realty. We're excited to be back for another season as the official real estate partner of FGCU Athletics.
Jay and I have over 30 years of real estate experience in Southwest Florida. So if you're looking to buy or list your home, please give us a call at 239-552-5505 or visit our website at bwteam.cc. Wings up and go Eagles.
Emergencies don't wait. Get to the hospital. Accidents happen. Get well soon. When it hurts to move forward, tackle your pain. Don't make your health wait. See your doctor. Your health means everything.
In sports, a good coach develops a winning game plan, provides guidance and direction, helps you stay disciplined, and leads you to success. The same is true with your personal finances. I'm Alfie Townsend with the Advantage Retirement Group. As your financial coach, I go beyond typical financial planning by helping you understand how the markets work and developing a financial strategy to achieve your financial goals. Do you have the right game plan for your retirement? If you're not 100% sure, give us a call and get into the game.
Pinchers was built around teamwork and family. The passion that we have of serving fresh seafood at Pinchers is unbelievable. The red grouper, the black grouper, the triple tail. Only the good Lord knows what he's going to put in the traps or on a hook. We have 10 Pinchers crab shacks. Stone crab is so sweet, it is God's greatest invention in the world, the stone crab. The large and the jumbo are for the egos who like to spend a lot of money. From the boat to the table, you can't fake fresh.
Eagles and the Lions meeting for the 10th time. First meeting goes all the way back to when they were both in Division II.
Yes.
Lions joined the A-Sun 3 years ago. And the last game, that the Lions won. That was in the ASUN tournament in the semifinals. Cato to Rosario for the dunk. Biggest lead of the game for FGCU.
Well, one of the pieces that UNA's missing is Peyton Youngblood, who laid 28 on the Eagles last year in that.
Well as the Eagles are playing offensively tonight, North Alabama played every bit as well offensively in that ASUN semi last year.
Yes, they did.
They just shot FGCU right out of the gym. And took Liberty right to the end, too.
Yes. They had Liberty on the ropes. They were up by 2, weren't they, down the stretch?
They were ineligible, I believe, to go to the NCAA tournament, but they still could have been ASUN champions,
yes,
which would have gotten them in the NIT, I believe.
Yes.
Cato, down low, Rosario.
Whoa.
Goaltending. Slapped the backboard. It was shaking. Back-to-back buckets for Rosario, who's really played well in relief of Kevin Samuel in both halves.
Well, he was an outstanding player in the Ohio Valley at McNeese State.
6'8" junior. And I think when he transferred here, he thought he'd be starting, and then Kevin Samuel walked in the door, and he's like, I may be coming off the bench. 3 from the corner is short by Ortiz.
There's a foul there.
Offensive foul on Dallas Howell, the 6'7" freshman, fighting for position down low.
Out of Coffee. You got to love this town. He's out of Coffee Spring, Alabama. Coffee Springs. Never been there.
Yeah, would love to know where in Alabama it is. I've been all over the state, but I am unfamiliar with Coffee Springs. Well, the back-to-back high-lows of Rosario resulted in layups, and they started to try that, but then went a little backdoor cut, pass knocked out of bounds, 16 seconds to shoot. Rosario with the moving screen commits the foul. His second.
See, for young men and young women watching, if you're setting a screen, you must be set. You can't turn your hips. You just got to be stationary. You got to play like you're a statue.
Brim off the
Whoa.
dribble.
I love that little floater he shoots.
5'9" senior picked up 2 early fouls, sat for a long time, then picked up his 3rd foul about 30 seconds after re-entering the game. Dunmartin forces it, nearly got it to go. Rebound, Rosario.
He is just working on the boards.
6 points here in the second half for Rosario, who I believe just picked up his 3rd foul, denying the dunk, and he did. So Cato, Halverson, Rosario, all with 3, and that'll bring Kevin Samuel back into the game. Chapman gets on the scoreboard tonight with that free throw. Rosario gets a good hand, though.
And Chapman, who's usually a much more prolific rebounder than he is tonight. He is usually relentless on the boards.
Hits both free throws.
A little press action, it looks like here, by the Lions.
With Dunmartin on the bench. I'll say this, though. Rolone in the open floor is terrific.
Yes, he is.
I'll bet you Luis would love to see full court pressure. Rolone, Cato, Largy, Samuel, and that man, Richie, who missed the 3. Brim at Rolone. Good defense by Luis to knock it out of bounds.
No. Whoa.
Dallas Howell, the freshman, used the glass to shoot it over Samuel. Six and a half gone by, second half. Cato to Samuel for the fourth dunk of the night for the Eagles.
There was nobody getting in the way of that one, David. You can try to block that, but you might lose some fingers or a hand.
I don't know why you would. You could easily get hurt. Rolone to Largy, who nearly stepped out of bounds, and is fouled on the reverse layup by Brown.
I like how he sort of gained his composure, said, I'm going to go back door.
Well, he realized, Brown, a freshman, even though he's the same height, or at least he's listed as the same height as Cyrus. Cyrus, because he's a junior, more time in the weight room, is clearly thicker.
Yeah.
When he felt the defender on him, he said, I could muscle this guy.
Yeah, I got a mouse in the house.
C.J. Brim checks out.
Hey, big weekend this year at FGCU, 25th anniversary. Alums coming in from all over the country. Big celebration on Saturday. 2 basketball games, Stetson men and women coming in, David.
So the university's 25 years old. The athletic department's 20.
Right, yes.
Because this is the 20th year of basketball for both programs. Deep three, in and out for Howell. Susie saves it, only to have it rejected by Samuel. Wow.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Isaac Chapman had to think that was a dunk, and that's thrown away. Here's Susie. And Rolone turns it over and then commits the foul and a chance for a three-point play. Compounding one error with another. And that's Rolone's third. So 4 Eagles have 3 fouls. 3 of them do come off the bench.
Yes.
Will Susie trying to reach double figures with this free throw. He's a perfect 3 of 3 from the line. He's got 10. And North Alabama pressing. Cato wanted to shoosh everybody away, but the Lions double teamed him again. Ritchie drives, has it blocked, only to commit the foul.
I'm not quite sure what plan A was there on that one, David, because there was no plan B, I'm telling you.
He hesitated while he was driving, then he said, I think I've gone too far.
And then I'm going to go up in the air.
I'm a big body, maybe I'll get the call. Austin Ritchie's played well. He had 8 in the first half.
He really has.
And Dakota Rivers will check in for Caleb Cato. The injury to Miller and earlier today Anderson could open up a spot for Dakota Rivers in the rotation.
Some PT.
He's gifted athletically.
Got to work on his rebounding, but, once you know what you got to work on, oh, boy.
Defensively and rebounding-wise.
But he is a big body at 6'8", 6'9".
And he's very athletic, and he's a very good three-point shooter. Rolone with the floater for 2. First points for Luis tonight. FGCU's lead is 21.
I'm not quite sure where.
In and out for 3, and Rivers had the rebound, only to have it be a tie-up.
Possession of our Eagles.
That'll get Rivers more PT, though. Hustling, playing good defense, fighting for rebounds, playing to his size. And the Eagles playing very well tonight, up 21.
We love our new apartment,
Great kitchen, open floor plan.
but there's not much privacy. At least Geico makes bundling our renters and car insurance easy.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Why is it so funny?
Are you kidding me? I'm getting sick of the industry. Oh, please.
This stuff's gonna kill me, but I won't let it. And I try to give them hell, but they don't get it. So I tell myself when I sleep at night, don't lose sight, baby, don't lose sight. This life will get you down, but I keep living. So I tell myself when I sleep at night, don't lose sight, baby, don't lose sight.
It's a touchdown, football fans! Come into Arby's now and touch this brisket, bacon, and beef dip down into a cup of au jus. Arby's, we have the meat.
How about sushi?
I just had sushi for lunch yesterday. Indian?
Maybe. How about seafood?
You know I don't like seafood.
How about tacos?
Tacos.
Automatic emergency braking, one of 6 advanced safety features standard on every 2022 Chevy Equinox. Find new technology. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
Five seconds and counting.
One.
That's where you start.
$11:40 to go. Eagles pulling away, led by 12 at the half, now up 21. You know, Jay Webb, when you're shooting 60% and the other team's shooting 33%, you're going to have a big lead.
You could have a big lead, and you know, we've done a lot of games this year, and this may be the first one where, you know, people weren't at the edge of their seat. Now that could still happen. I don't want to give them.
Come on now, you've seen
I don't
this.
This
FGCU team.
I don't want to give them a can of horror.
They can give it and they can take it.
They can take it away. Oh, I like the Brady here.
Ritchie to inbound to Halverson. Lions trying to trap in the backcourt. Rolone to Ritchie.
Well, they almost had They almost had Ritchie on an over and back.
Well, Ritchie never fully crossed the line, though.
Okay.
He caught it, and his right foot went across the line.
Right.
His left foot did not. Then he passed it to Halverson, who was fouled by Brim, and that's the 4th on C.J. Brim. Dakota for 3.
No! Dakota Rivers.
Just his 11th three-pointer of the season, but he shoots it at 40%.
Oh.
Rivers in there because Zach Anderson, with a high ankle sprain early in the game. Ortiz tried to bank one in.
That's his 2nd rebound.
Talked to Coach Fly about Dakota Rivers earlier today. He said, listen, he has still practiced hard. He is still very much a member of this team. He has not sulked. Nice drive there by Ortiz,
yes.
His first points of the second half. And Rivers, who was a starter in the first month of the year, only to now be deep on the bench. But Coach Fly complimented him as to his attitude, how hard he's worked. And clearly you can see the guys rooting for him here on the court as Samuel hooks one in. He's got 14. Eagles up 24. Brim knocks Halverson to the floor, no call.
Was that a push or a flop?
That was a flop.
I thought it was a flop, yeah.
Howell with his second bucket. Midway through the second half, Eagles have pushed a 12-point halftime lead to 22. Coach Fly resting Dunmartin during this sequence. Rivers, nice kick out to Halverson, and that's a travel. Halverson started to go up with it and came down, and you could see right there that a gifted shooter is struggling with his confidence, because for most of his life he just would have caught that and fired it.
That's called paralysis by analysis. Shooters just got to shoot.
Well, he's going to get plenty of playing time, though. He is going to have a chance to shoot his way out of this.
Look at the
Dakota came over and
by
forced the
Dakota
turnover.
Boy, oh boy.
Great job with the help defense by Dakota Rivers, forcing the turnover. Eagles break the press relatively easily. Drive to the basket by Rolone. No. Rosario fighting for the rebound. Eagles with 5 reserves on the floor right now.
Whoa.
Trying to buy some time with the big lead until the media timeout.
Well, long shot, long rebound.
Blackman chases down the miss and hits the 3. And Tony Pujol, I believe, takes the timeout. Under 9 minutes to play, the Eagles' lead is 19, looking for their 3rd in a row.
Come check it out.
It may not be music to your ears, but as long as it's music to theirs, bring the volume back to the venue with exclusive ticket access to unmissable events. One of the many reasons you're with Amex Platinum.
So I'm going too, right?
I've made progress with my mental health. So when I started having unintentional body movements called tardive dyskinesia, I ignored them. But when the twitching and jerking in my face and hands affected my day-to-day, I finally had to say, it's not okay. It was time to talk to my doctor about Austedo. She said Austedo helps reduce TD movements in adults, while I continue with most of my mental health medications.
Austedo can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, behaviors, feelings, or have suicidal thoughts. Common side effects include inflammation of the nose and throat, insomnia, and sleepiness. Don't take Austedo if you have liver problems, are taking Rezapine, tetrabenazine, or valbenazine. Austedo may cause irregular or fast heartbeat, restlessness, movements mimicking Parkinson's disease, fever, stiff muscles, problems thinking, and sweating.
Talk to your doctor about Austedo. It's time to treat TD. TD is not okay. Visit askforaustedo.com.
Time for a kitchen refresh. Come into Lowe's now for a rebate on Samsung appliances, like their 4-door Flex refrigerator with beverage center and air fry range. Find the prices you like every day with Lowe's Price Promise.
If that particular play doesn't happen, I don't know what happens with my career beyond that.
.47 to go. Eagles with a 19-point lead over the Lions. A couple of out-of-town scores. Bellarmine beat North Florida in Jacksonville by 3, 73-70. The Ospreys have been playing much better of late.
Yes.
Bellarmine's a really good team. And Jacksonville continues their strong play, beating Eastern Kentucky by 13.
How about Stetson and Jacksonville State, David?
The Hatters with a 2-point lead with under 4 minutes to play at home. Kennesaw State up 12 against Central Arkansas with 7:16 to play. And here, as you see, the Eagles up 19 at home. A race for positioning in the ASUN standings. shapes who gets first-round buys and who hosts first-round matchups in the ASUN playoffs.
I don't think people realize how important that is to get a bye and then get to host at home.
Top 2 seeds on each side get the buys and then get to host. Like the difference between a 2 and a 3 seed. Rosario off a beautiful feed from Rolone. That's 8 for Carlos, all in the second half. Cato and Largy checked into the game after that timeout.
Whoa.
Rolone went flying by Susi, who misses the mid-range jumper, however. The clock is FGCU's friend. You run some clock and then you get aggressive. Cato for 3. He picked up those 3 fouls in the first half. He's hit 2 threes here in the second. Biggest lead of the game for FGCU at 24. Susi fights through a double team, can't get it to go. Cato the rebound. Eagles shooting 60% and the Lions 35. There's your game in a nutshell.
Yes. It's a game of makes and misses.
Cato with the hesitation, the drive, can't get it to go. Good box out by Sissy. And Rolone with the block. I got to admit, you know how I'm anti-charge.
Yes.
Rolone played that really well, though. Yeah. But he picks up the foul, and that's his 4th. Timeout we go. Eagles by 24.
Pinchers was built around teamwork and family. The passion that we have of serving fresh seafood at Pinchers is unbelievable. The red grouper, the black grouper, the triple tail. Only the good Lord knows what he's going to put in the traps or on a hook. We have 10 Pinchers Crab Shacks. Stone crab is so sweet. It is God's greatest invention in the world, the stone crab. The large and the jumbo are for the egos who like to spend a lot of money. From the boat to the table, you can't fake fresh.
It started with land and a grand plan to build a university, protect biodiversity, shape engineers and pioneers, explore frontiers and spark careers, and serve local regions through the work of collegians to chase dreams, cheer teams, teach, share, improve, and prepare to bring minds awake and give back more than we take. To build a school of wonders where communities connect, inspiring those who inspire others. That's the FGCU effect.
Championship action is when the ASUN is at its finest. That's why you'll want to visit asunphotos.com. ASUN Photos is present at every ASUN championship, capturing the action, including those must-have shots that you may have missed or want to save for a memory. We understand your passion, so when you want to relive those favorite moments, players, and special memories, start with the experts from asunphotos.com.
In sports, a good coach develops a winning game plan, provides guidance and direction, helps you stay disciplined, and leads you to success. The same is true with your personal finances. I'm Alfie Townsend with the Advantage Retirement Group. As your financial coach, I go beyond typical financial planning by helping you understand how the markets work and developing a financial strategy to achieve your financial goals. Do you have the right game plan for your retirement? If you're not 100% sure, give us a call and get into the game.
Eagles by 24 with under 7 minutes to play here at Alico Arena. You know, it's funny how sports are. Doubleheader between FGCU and North Alabama.
Right.
You figured if one game would be tense throughout and go down to the wire, end up as a 10-point game.
Right.
The other would be one team in cruise control over the other. You would have thought the women's game would have been the cruise control game, and this would have been.
And the men's would have been a nail biter. But hey, No nail biter when you have 42 points in the paint.
It seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Eagles going a little zone here at North Alabama. It forces the miss by Brown from 3.
Well,
Italian, after a good first half, is yet to score in the second.
Both the North Florida zone and the Jacksonville zone bothered North Alabama.
Halverson working some clock. Now he's going to drive it and score it.
There you go.
And that's not his game, but he got it to go, and good for Matt. 6 minutes to play, Eagles up 26. Rosario, a half a step late, coming over on Chapman. It's his first bucket. He's got 4. Lions pressing in the backcourt. Rosario was calling for it down low, and Cyrus said, we'll run some clock.
I think the men's game is the first game on Saturday, isn't it?
Rosario fouled in the act of shooting. Carlos will go to 2.
The women are at 7 on Saturday, David.
And the men are at 4.
And
So the men play first. We're going old school Saturday.
Going old school, baby.
For those who weren't with FGCU Athletics during their first 8 to 10 years of existence, the women's basketball team caught on before any other sport really caught on.
Yes.
In Division II, they made the NCAA tournament, and then their final year in Division II, they were undefeated until the national championship game. First time this gym was ever packed was the region final to go to the Elite 8 for the women.
They were 35-1, I believe, that year. They lost to Southern Connecticut in the finals.
Yep. Their last game in Division II.
Right.
And
26 points by Kate Lynch, and the transfer from UConn. Was that were you out there out in South Dakota or North Dakota somewhere?
I did not go because I had my grandfather passed right before the Elite 8. So, but yes, it was in my old stomping grounds out there in the upper Midwest.
That's right.
Under 5 minutes to play. But then in the early days of Division I, the men struggled while the women kept winning 20-plus games.
Right.
And they were ineligible for the NCAA, so they went to the NIT, and so the women became more popular.
Yes.
And so the men oftentimes played first, and the women played second because they would draw the bigger crowd. We had to explain that to Andy Enfield when he took the job here. It's like, listen, every other doubleheader, you're going to play second. Rosario rejected twice.
Man, Chapman said, not in my house.
I know we're down 24, but
I love Chapman's energy. I really do.
Isaac Chapman, a junior.
Oh, Richie.
And I believe some pushing there. They're going to call a foul on Brown. In fact, Andy Enfield commented to me one time. He said, it was a little discouraging to, show up when we were playing second in those early days. And, the women would win.
And they'd leave.
And then 1,000 people would walk out of the gym. He said it was a little depressing.
But that all changed in 2013, didn't it?
I was going to say, the end of his second year. Matt Halverson, an 83% free throw shooter. Well, this is just what this team needed.
Yes.
After what some in the program told me was the toughest road trip from a travel standpoint that they had ever been on. They had had very few what one would consider to be an easy game. A couple of Eagles wrestling with themselves there, but eventually Halverson for three, and the bench knows how big a shot that is.
We got 41 seconds up at Stetson. Stetson up 59-54 in Jacksonville State.
And that would move Bellarmine within a game of the top spot over in the other division. Susi can't get the roll, Rosario the rebound. And after a tough road trip with heavy minutes, Samuel and Dunmartin getting a chance to get about 8 to 10 minutes of rest in this game that they don't normally get. Victor Rosa's in the game. Andre Weir's going to check into the game. Coach Fly emptying the bench.
Andre Weir, if he can get his act together, could really be a force for FGCU down the stretch.
As we approach 3 minutes to go. Halverson, oh, he's feeling it. He is feeling it. He hit the running one-hander, then he got fouled in the corner and hit the 2 free throws, and now he's hit back-to-back threes. This could be a very important stretch for Matt Halverson and for FGCU in the final 5 minutes of a blowout win. And the walk-ons are taking their warm-ups off as well. And they're going to check into the game as we near 2 minutes to go. Rosario forcing it up and in. 12 for Carlos Rosario. 90-58. FGCU up 32. They led by 12 at the break. Rivers with the rebound. And for those just checking in, Dakota Rivers played meaningful minutes tonight.
Yes, he did.
He came into the game when the game was still in doubt. Timeout onto the floor to get the walk-ons into the game, and we'll take our final break. The Eagles about to win their 3rd in a row, up 32.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has a new class of travel card for you, Venture X. Earn 10x miles on hotels and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel. Venture X, what's in your wallet?
America's been thunderstruck by the all-new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. With a sleek exterior and premium interior, get high style without the high price during the spring sales event. Get thunderstruck.
You put the sandwich in the dip. Brisket, bacon, beef, and Swiss. You put the sandwich in the dip. Brisket, bacon, beef, and Swiss. You put the sandwich in the dip. Brisket, bacon, beef, and Swiss. You put Arby's. We have the meat.
Kids love visiting California! My parents like it too. Like a lot. They go bonker! Totally. It's an adventure. And while you have to keep an eye on them, you gotta let them explore and figure things out for themselves. So hurry up! They're not gonna stay this way forever.
Kick off your California vacation at visitcalifornia.com.
And with less than 2 minutes to play, and the Eagles about to win their 3rd straight, let's take a look at where the North Alabama Lions go from here. Doesn't get any easier.
No.
They will be at home, but Bellarmine's the 2nd place team in the West. Then, as you see, Eastern Kentucky, Lipscomb, Jacksonville State before their conference finale. For the Eagles, this is the first of a 3-game homestand. Saturday afternoon against Stetson. Wednesday night against Kennesaw State. Then their final road trip of the regular season, North Florida and Liberty.
That's a tough trip.
Although North Florida got beat tonight at home, the Ospreys had been playing much better. Coach Fly empties the bench. Rosa for 3. Ricca will chase it down. So Rosa, Weir, as Weir fires up a 3. Remmenschneider and Chase Jackson on the floor for FGCU. Corner 3, missed by Dallas Howell. Remmenschneider will get credit for the rebound. I think the officials are just going to let the clock run here as much as they can. Ricca had it just taken away. Up ahead, CJ Brim with the bucket. Rosa. Over to Ricca. Chase Jackson all alone.
Jackson. Oh, the bench is dancing to that.
Well, every team loves it when the walk-ons score.
Because people don't realize they're the scout team. They don't get any glory. And they try to get some PT. The coaches really respect what they do.
And Coach Fly ordering no more shots, and it will go into the books as FGCU winning it 92-60.